Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's August 6th, 2023, and today I've got some post-crossing to do. I've got 6 officials I can send out, and I've got some direct swaps, so I'm going to show you which cards I picked out for those. But first, I'm going to start with, have you ever made a mistake in ordering something? In the past, I've shown you some cards that I got from Temu, and they were a bit flimsy. They were more of pictures you would put in picture frames rather than postcards, even though they were advertised as postcards. So those are something that I'm going to have to work with to try to figure out. It's been suggested I put like another postcard behind it or a card stock and glue it on there. I mean, maybe that's what I'll do. The other thing I did, I put my postcards in these sheets, protective sheets, in binders, so they fit 2 postcards. I mean, you can put 4, but I like to see the front and back, so I put 2 in here. And I ordered some more of these because they were running out. And what arrived was, you can see here, see the holes are a little bit too close together. My binders are not like that. My binders have the holes here, here, and in the center. So I thought, oh, what am I going to do with all of these that do not fit? And then my smart wife said, why don't you just use a hole punch and punch in the holes that you need? Of course, that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I started to do. So it's good to have someone have another perspective on it, and maybe take you out of the clouded mind that, oh no, I've ordered all this junk that doesn't work for what I want to do with it. It's not that. You just need to have another perspective of how you can go about solving the situation. Hole punches for this, and maybe harder cardstock on those pictures up there to turn them into postcards. Easy fix. All right, that's my not my rant, but my advice for the day, that sometimes you just need another perspective on things in order to right the ship and realize that the world hasn't come to an end, and that the mistake you made is not going to cost you a lot of money or a lot of time. It just means you might just have to do things a little bit different than you normally have to do them. All right, let's get into the postcards. After you've subscribed, liked, and commented, always leave nice comments if there's something in it you like, both the postcards or both the videos. Always like to hear back from you on it and get input. Maybe you got a suggestion. Maybe this size whole structure is something that's common where you are, and you get the other ones by accident. Could happen. All right, I'm going to get into the official postcards now. The first one I have is going off to India. This gentleman is retired and is living his best life, living with his wife, has all the things that he needs in life. So he's very happy with being retired. He's most of the time devoted to his hobby. One of them is to receive covers, envelopes fixed with 3 or 4 different designs of postage stamps. So he's basically asking for postcards in envelopes so he can collect the stamps off of it, is how I get it. Which is good, and he enjoys themed stamps such as fish, fishing, or marine life is what he'd like. He says it's not compulsory for posting me a card for it to be in an envelope, but if you're interested in swapping recent Indian issues, he's up for it. So that's kind of good to know. There's other philatelic people out there. So he talked about fishing and fish marine life. So this is clam digging here in New Brunswick. What happens when the tide goes out? You're going to see a sandbar, and you'll see little holes in the sand where the clams are breathing, and you just dig your shovel into the sand and you can dig them up and put them in a pot of water and boil them, and that's how people like to enjoy their clams. So that card is going off to India. The next one I have is going off to Macau, and she says her English is quite poor, but trying to improve, you know, any bit is probably better than what I would do in Mandarin trying to write to her. So I am in awe of people that can pick up other languages so easily. She loves music, especially pop music, piano music. Some of her favorite singers are Taylor Swift, Eason, IU, and some that I don't know. She loves watching TV series, usually Chinese or Korean TV. Makes her relax, forget the pressures of studying for a while. She loves sports, especially badminton, swimming, and dancing. After watching the Winter Olympics in February, she really wanted to try ice skating, but there's no skating rink in her city. She loves eating and wants to try dishes from all around the world. And she says, if you want to introduce me to some local specialties, she would be very excited. As for postcards, she likes local food, color, maps of your city or country, romantic, about music, magic things, arts, museum cards, and Little Prince or Harry Potter. So, being from Canada, I had to send a skating postcard. Even though this isn't from a skating, this postcard isn't from Canada. I received this from Media in Finland. She went to a museum in Finland. It's the ski museum, and found this card and sent it off. So I think it checks off 2 boxes. She wanted museum cards, and she's also interested in skating. So hopefully she'll enjoy that. The next card is going off to Germany. And she says she's 59 years old, lives with her family in a small town in the western part of Germany. She's not going to write a whole long profile, but she loves to do handicrafts and photography. She's been a member of Postcrossing for 10 years now, still loves the daily moment of opening the post box to find all the great postcards from around the world. And her wish lists are animals, most of the baby animals, birds, flowers, nature's general, sea, mushrooms, lighthouses, royals, food, anime characters, Buddhas, modern airplanes, old cars, ships, actors, paintings by Victoria Curdy, and paintings in general, and postal love greetings from cards. So I've gone with a lighthouse. There's one in Prince Edward Island, a little bit of a boardwalk beside it. I figure I have to represent Canada a little bit in this. I was looking at maybe some anime ones or some of the other things that she talked about, but lighthouses is what stuck for me. Okay, the next one is going off to Texas in the United States, and they're a young student currently pursuing a degree in fine arts. Her parents immigrated from China to the United States before they were born. And they grew up in the state of Texas, currently living in Austin, enjoy reading manga, watching anime. Making art is not only a hobby to me, but a passion. They encourage you to draw on the postcards, even if you're not considered a good artist, just draw something. Things they like to receive are cute and whimsical cartoon animals, cartoon anime, manga in general, vintage advertisements or illustrations, tasteful pinups of women, gay illustrations, oil paintings with good brushwork or other beautiful fine works, illustrations from your culture such as food, fashion, and people, bovine animals, rice paddy fields, Chinatowns from where you live, video games, and generally any beautiful hand-drawn illustration. They want the date, the weather, the temperature on the postcard. Even if you do not consider yourself an artist, draw something, please. And then she talks about things that they would like to you'd like to write. Now, this Chinatown postcard is not from my town. This is from Toronto, where my brother lives, but we don't have a Chinatown in Moncton. And I had this card, and I thought, well, if they like Chinatown cards, let's send this Canadian one. Okay, the next one I have is going to Latvia. So this was kind of cool to get Latvia as a destination. They say she's been to lots of places around the world, but understands that life's too short and to see all the beauty of the world with her own eyes. That is why I would like to receive colorful postcards, which will make her happy and give great options to me for choice for all paintings. She likes adult cats, cards with fruit and sweet, and honey, tea, coffee-related things, flowers, gemstones, pearls, jewelry, indigenous Aboriginal art from Australia, Christmas cards with gingerbread all year round, dishes, Starbucks coffee mugs, Absolute vodka, very popular people, but no more Marilyn Monroe's or Audrey Hepburn's. Apparently she's got lots of those cards. The Three Tenors, greetings from, anything from Fernando Botero, anything from Game of Thrones, heart, romantic cards, keep calm, fat people in art, and still life paintings. So I went with this one. Beautiful, colorful flowers. We've got a polar bear, which kind of is a bit of Canadiana here. I know polar bears aren't only in Canada, but I thought it would be something that they might enjoy in Latvia. And then the final official postcard I had, this one's a pretty special profile. And it says, Hi, I've been post-crossing for a while. Oh, it's going to Florida in the United States, first of all. Been post-crossing for a while and wanted to do something different this year. So instead of sending me postcards, I'd like you to send postcards to my dad. He's recovering from a stroke, and I think he'll enjoy receiving your wonderful surprises in the mail. His birthday is in April, so birthday wishes are also welcome. Tell him about you, your culture, your hobbies, your country, etc., etc. Anything is better than a blank card. Just don't be rude. He loves football, soccer, and used to play as a teen. He spent some of his youth in Montreal, so if you're from there, feel free to write in French. This is for me. If you play Pokemon Go and want to be friends, just send me a message and then as the account. I think that is a fantastic idea that they've taken their hobby and they're sharing it with their family, in this case, his father. So I went with this card. I have these extra long cards. This one's Montreal, where my daughter goes to university. I love the city, so if he spent his youth living in Montreal, maybe he'll get a kick out of a city view of it. And there's lots of room on the back for me to write, and just hopefully he's recovering well from the stroke. So I think that's such a lovely idea that they're sharing their hobby with their parent and in a recovery mode. So way to go. All right, let's show you some of my direct swaps, two that I'm sending out. The first one is this one here, movie poster, Notre Dame. So that you've got the Basilica in the background in France. A little bit of a vintage-esque card. It's not vintage, but kind of looks vintage. We have this one here of the dogwood flower, which is British Columbia's provincial flower. And when we lived out there, we had a beautiful dogwood tree. So kind of reminds me of that. This one here is the Old Bank of New Brunswick. Now, New Brunswick doesn't have its own bank or currency anymore. We're a member of Canada, so we all share Canadian currency now. But back before we were in Canada, we were a province, we had our own bank. And this bank still is up as a museum down in Albert County. So when you're driving to Fundy National Park, you drive by it if you're coming from Moncton through Hillsborough area, and always like stopping there. It's really a cool part of history. And then this one here, love going on nature walks. This is the Sackville Waterfowl Park. I've sent this card off before, but it kind of fits with the person that I'm sending it to this time, and kind of shows one of the areas that we like to just get out and be one with nature. And then how about this one? Be wild and free. So you can take a lot out of that comment, but yeah, part of it you just have to let go. There's so many constricting rules and things, and I find myself in that box sometimes of playing by the rules all the time. Sometimes you just have to let go and let yourself have a bit of fun and not plan everything to the last minute. Just see where the day goes. I find that hard sometimes. I kind of want to know what I'm doing ahead of time and plan out when I'm going and where I'm going to stay. And so just to get in a car and go and then stop wherever and do whatever, not always easy. So if you're like me in that respect, take something from this card. Be wild and free sometimes. All right, next card. We have all these cool lobster traps. If you're not from an area that has a lobster, like northern United States or eastern Canada, yeah, maybe you've never seen a lobster trap before, so I thought this was kind of neat to send out. And then this card is kind of a different card because this is an advertisement for a restaurant, but I liked thank you for being a friend. I like the aspect that there's food on it. I think the person that get it will appreciate it too, and it means a lot, so thank you for being a friend. Next one is a vintage postcard. I like the scene on it here. It looks like something you could frame and put up as someone's miniature painting. So someone who may like art or like scenery, I think will appreciate that. I do have another vintage postcard. This one is of Campobello Island, the lighthouse that's there. What Campobello Island is famous for is it's a Roosevelt summer home. The President of the United States had a summer home here in Canada, and maybe the person that was receiving this didn't know that. And the last card I have is this one here. It's a fishing postcard. One of the reasons I picked it is because next weekend I'm going fishing with my son. We have an annual fishing trip. We didn't do it last year, but we're back on going to do it this year. So I'm looking forward to that, and thought I would send out a fishing postcard to go along with that. That is what I've got to do for today. Hopefully you are having a beautiful Sunday and enjoying things, and the weather's nice where you are, maybe getting a little bit post-crossing in, being creative, spending time just enjoying life. Have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?